All right, so we're here at the Alberta Beef Industry Conference with Danny Hooper, who's a radio personality, hairstylist, makeup artist, and MC for the
country music star.
Yeah.
Actually, I only had one hit, really. You know, that was 1995, the John Deere tractor key. So I'm kind of in between hits right now, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have some time left, so that's fine. How was it? How was your experience emceeing this year?
Good, fabulous. I really enjoyed this conference. I've done it for many, many years now, and being a bit of a farm boy myself, I grew up on a cattle ranch out near Tomahawk, Alberta, out close to Drayton Valley. So I now live in the city, live in Edmonton, so it's always nice to get back in contact with a lot of these folks that are still living on the land.
So they call you a cityite yet?
A cityist? No, I'm still a country boy. Country boy at heart. Yeah.
Right on. So I was going to bug you about auctioneering. If somebody were interested in becoming an auctioneer, what would they do to pursue that?
Well, to pursue auctioneering, it's anybody can learn how to auction, to learn the technique. I went to the Western College of Auctioneering down in Billings, Montana, and that's one of many excellent auction schools. There's good ones here in Alberta, so you don't have to travel that far. There's lots of great ones all across the country and down in the States as well. So I think typically it's about a 2-week course, but I know when I went many years ago, there were people that came to auction school that had all kinds of speech impediments and whatnot, and 2 weeks later they're going out and they're just auctioning like you can't believe it. So that would be the first step, would be to get to an auction school.
It's a song, I hear.
It's a song, yeah, the Auctioneer song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
$25 bid, and now they're $30, give me 30. Yeah, it is. Leroy Van Dyke song.
What does it take to be a good auctioneer?
Personality. I think that's it in a nutshell. You know, what differentiates, I think, the good ones from the mediocre ones would be personality, and I think that's one of the things that you really get to see when you stop at any auction mart, or you go to an estate sale or a farm sale or whatever. You know, if the auctioneer is entertaining and has lots of personality, I think that usually translates into extra revenue being generated.
How do you know in advance what something is worth, where to start?
You know, that's a good question. I work in the charity sector, in the fundraising auction sector, so I work in a bit of a skewed market compared to what the cattle guys would be. I mean, you know, people in the livestock auctioneers or auto auctioneers, they have a lot of, you know, they have a lot of reference points as to where the market is, and it fluctuates, you know, minusculely, I guess would be the word, if that's even a word. Minusculely? I think it is. If it's not, it should be, but minuscule variations in the market in some of those sectors. But in the charity auction sector, fundraising auction sector, you know, it's the values of things are so subjective, and there's so many different things that motivate a buyer to put his or her hand up. And when you're in the philanthropy arena, a lot of those people knowingly and willingly overpay all the time for items. For example, as I mentioned last night at the banquet there, I recently did an auction for the David Foster Foundation in Toronto, and Andrea Bocelli donated 4 nights in his home in Florence, Italy, for you to come and stay with he and his wife. So 2 tickets sold for $175,000. So it's a whole different world in the fundraising sector.
Is there a market for auctioneers now?
There's always a market for everything in every occupation at any time in the world. It's a matter of attitude. You just got to get out there, and if you've got a passion, or you think it's a passion or a vision or a dream, just get out there and pursue it. You know, learn the basic skills, work progressively at increasing your skill level. You know, I think I'm very blessed. I've been doing fundraising auctions now for about 27 years. You know, when you've done anything for that long, you get to kind of a level where you're very comfortable. As they say that after 10,000 hours of doing anything, you achieve a level of mastery. And it's nice to get to that point where you are genuinely comfortable walking up in front of any crowd at any time and conducting an auction.
What if you're genuinely uncomfortable with mathematics?
You don't have to be good with mathematics. I've proven that when you're doing an auction. Just be able to count, you know, if you can get to 1 to 10, you're okay. That's all you really need to. You don't have to do mathematics, just need to be able to count a little bit.
Awesome. Where are you off to after this?
Well, I leave here right away for Victoria, and working the next little while. Gosh, I guess the quickest answer to that is check my website. I've got a really cool website at dannyhooper.com, and you can check the events section on there and find out where I am. But we do about 120 events each year, and we're just, it's February right now, so we're still booking up the calendar for this year, but you can go on and see that we're pretty busy.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the rest of your events.
Yeah, pleasure chatting with you.